Hello again. This is Hoodie VR, also known as Poppet. I am recording these videos back to back, so I apologize if my voice is starting to run out. I have been talking for a solid 30 minutes. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make different variations of heads, both using the subdivision method and a knife method. Keep in mind, this is how I personally do heads. Is this method really recommended? Um, Depending on your style, I'm doing this in my style, which is very cartoony and chibi. So many people may not use this method, which is completely okay. Everybody does Blender individually, and everyone does it differently. Your style may not be the same as mine, so do not pressure yourself if your result doesn't turn out like mine. So let's start with how I normally do heads. Normally, I would go to Add, I would click Mesh, and add a cube. Now, when you open Blender, it should already have a cube, so you don't have to worry about that step. Using a modifier, I would click Add Modifier and Subdivision Surface. Usually, I max it up to 3, but in case you think that that's too high poly, you can always use 2. Now, if you use 1, you are simply crazy. But you know what? If you can get it to work, I applaud you. So, normally people would use 2 because it's more optimized, but personally, I use 3. So then I would apply it and I would go into edit mode. Using edit mode, I would basically, using proportional editing, move how I want the head to look. Today we're not going for a realistic head, so I would usually do it from side view, then from front view as well, where you would basically put the proportions of how you think a head should look. Keep in mind, I do not make realistic heads, I only make chibi ones, and many of them may not look perfect, but trust me, do not spend all day worrying about perfection unless you are ready to cry. Because I used to focus on a lot on perfection rather than how I just personally want models to look. Will your models always look perfect? No. Now, this is just for people that want kind of like a jawline look. I would suggest clicking a vertice and marking seam. Now, I will not texture in this video, but for anyone who is wondering, you would make this backside a darker color than the original color that is on the face up here. Just because it create like a shaded type look. Most people would usually do that from the bottom as well by selecting a cross such as like this, and so you'd have this little box area right here. Now you have like a golf ball effect. You would, using control, you would deselect the remaining vertices that isn't in that box, kind of like this, and any stray ones that was left. And then by using this, you would mark seam and kind of have that jawline feature as well. So there's two ways you can have this and this. That is just for, um, in case you want shading. That's for texturing. Now, that's personally what I do, but you do not need to follow that. Now, from here, usually how I do it is I would click the knife tool and shape out a pair of eyes. Um, Trust me, this process can make you go wild and make you want to cry. But just remember, Blender's all about having fun and not throwing your PC out the window. We are trying to avoid throwing your PC out the window. I can see you gripping your keyboard. Please do not throw your PC out the window. So, once you have a simple eye shape, um, please do not throw your laptop out the window. Trust me, I've done it a few times. You click Mark Seam, and now you have the same of your eye. If the eye doesn't turn out how you want it, simply turn on the radius of that, because that can really fuck up the head shape, and just shape it out how you want it. Now, you may be wondering, how the hell do I put it on this side? Click A, Mesh, Symmetrize. Now, you may wonder, where the hell did it go? Now, from here, you see this direction. Do not have negative X selected unless you do it on this side. If you do it on this side, then it would go to this side. So you would click positive X to negative X. Now you have a pair of eyes. But those don't look like a pair of eyes. Can't see anything. So I'm going to show you first how I do eyeliner on my models and how to cave the eyes in the head. So using L in face select, select the inside of the eye. And then, using E plus Y, push it inwards. Now you can make it kind of slim, really slim, it all depends. So, go back to front view, turn down the radius of your proportional editing, and size it down. Now, bear with me on this. Kind of think of this area right here as the eyeliner. Push this however you want the eyeliner to look. Make it bigger for more slim eyeliners, make it smaller for more thicker, and have it in any direction you want it to go. And from here, you would have more of like an eyeliner look. Now, is this the most perfect? No. Keep in mind, you can always edit this later or fix it up however you want. In case you want the eyeliner to go more deep, just push it more into the head. Now from here, you would click E, Y, push it back again. Now from here, put clear seam, and go back to vertices. Now this is just me personally, but I always smooth the vertices back there to give it a more of a caved in look. And push it up a little bit. What I would suggest for people who make models is if you want to make eyes, but you don't like to do eye animations, I would suggest to bevel out your eyes and give it like a really big space inside the eyeball. And then again, mesh, symmetrize. Now you have it on both sides. Now, in case you did all of this and you do not like the finished product, remember, everything can be changed. You can also change how it looks on the inside as well. So, also because I know people struggle with eyelashes, select straining vertices outside. You can use vertice select or you can use edge select. And by selecting these, you can click extrude, remove the remaining vertice, and kind of create eyelashes. It just depends on how your model looks. Keep in mind, eyelashes can be a little bit frustrating, so take your time. And they may not always look how you want, but in that case, just try again. Trust me, Blender is complex at times. It can be really stress-inducing, but do not let it control you, okay? You are creating what you want, and things may not always go as planned. Just simply keep trying. Because then again, you don't know what you'll accomplish if you just keep trying. It's all about trial and error. You're gonna hear me say it a million times throughout my videos, and by the end of this, you're gonna be muttering trial and error in a corner in a rubber room. And that may or may not be a side effect of making Blender models. So from here, shape out however you want the eyelash to look. Just a small reminder, again, eyelashes can be pretty damn complex, and they may not always look as planned, but it's okay. Not everything needs to be perfect. I would say a lot of things in Blender can also be heavily fixed by texturing, because texturing can help sort out all the little details that you really don't like with how stuff looks. A lot of my models don't look great in the process of making them, but then in texturing can look amazing. Trust the process, okay? Trust your own process. Go with the flow of how you want to make these. So that's just how to make one eyelash if you want to go crazy. Of course, that isn't the best eyelash I've ever made, but this just for the video. You can just go crazy and make a bunch of eyelashes. You can also make the ends in case you want to make them pointy. Do that. And then again, shape them out. Shape them out however you want. In case you feel like this eyelash is way too low poly and it's not looking how you want it to, you can add a vertice by clicking Control R and adding more vertices. And that way it gives you more freedom to edit it again however much you want. And in case you just don't like it at all, you can select a random vertice, delete by vertices, click L on the straining one, delete by vertices, and then again, Alt Shift to create basically just a different eyelash. And then again, grab all of it, mesh, symmetrize. And now you have an eyelash on both sides. Now, you may be wondering, how do I make eyeshadow? A lot of people do eyeshadow by texturing, but in case you feel like that's a little bit complex, use a knife tool again. Go on a corner of your eye, And don't worry, eyeshadow can look however you want. This is just how I'm going to do it, and how I do it for most of my models is to make out a um kind of half oval shape on the top of the eyes. Again, click enter, click mark seam, and then while texturing, you select this area to specifically make eyeshadow. And then again, grab it, symmetrize, so because symmetrize to the other side of the face. And like I said before, if it doesn't come out how you want it, just move it around. Trust me, a lot of things are not gonna go the first time. Just keep trying, and you'll get it how you want it to eventually. Do not rush through this either. Models can take time. You don't have to do them in a day. You don't have to do them in an hour, and you don't have to be the fastest at doing them. It's all about having fun. If models stress you out, take a minute, watch a video, come back later. The model will always be waiting here, but please make sure you save. Now, from here, there are several ways to make mouths. And also for people that worry about the eyes, you can either click add, and you can add a cube, subdivide it once or subdivide it twice, depending on how blocky you want it to look. Go like this. Just move it a lot. Basically, just move it a lot. Now, shrink it. Now, in case you have this little X thing selected, like I do, what I suggest is turning off X so you don't do this. Put it in one eye, shrink it again, go to side view. In case you don't want the eye to be this big, I would suggest slimming it down and placing it in the socket of the eye where the eye would go. In case you want that more furry head appeal, make sure that the eye isn't clipping through the mesh. Example, if the eye was like this big, that's clipping through. Try to keep it small, but keep it in a position that you want. Because in this case, if you keep it thin enough and you push it into the head, I'm going to show you a little effect that models can do. So push this back into the head. See? In case you haven't noticed, it gives it like an effect that it's kind of looking at you. This isn't a perfect example, but it's just an example nonetheless. And then again, you select it, mesh, symmetrize. Now you may be wondering, what was this for? Why did you select X? Well, by symmetrizing, if you select X, whatever you do on one side duplicates to the other, so then you can be Mega Man. And you don't always have to symmetrize it every 2 seconds, because I know that can become annoying. Now, how you can make a mouth. Making mouths can be very frustrating, but in case you want it to be simple, from what I do, I usually cut out a mouth. So say something like this. Mark seam. And then I use bevel to shape out the mouth. And you see this little vertice right here? Select it. Oh, don't use that. That's face select. Use this. Mark seam. And shrink it down in case you want that more chibi looking look with the more slim mouths. And then again, if it doesn't look perfect, just go like this. And then again, symmetrize. Mouth can't be looking crazy here, can't be looking like a little bit of a sociopath, but in case, cat mouth. And again, you can always just move the mouth however you want, so in case you want it to give like a more cute look. So then from here, select this one, push it back into the head. Now, in case before you ask, why is it into the head? Well, that's where your mouth is going to be. Now, keep in mind there are several ways to make mouths. This is just one of them. Use bevel to make the inside of the mouth wider, and then extrude backwards. You can use the smooth tool to make it better, and now you have the mouth and the inside of the mouth. There are different ways to make mouths, so don't worry, this is not the only way to make a mouth, but this is just a simple way to make it for those who don't really know how to make mouths in the first place. There are also a way to make lips. Now, this is a method that I have to give credit to my editor. Hi, editor, who is dying. But basically, you would remove all of this. Don't worry, you don't have to do what I'm doing. I can't. Blender doesn't have an option to go all the way back, so I have to remove it manually. Hold up, bear with me. I'm so good at this. I'm so professional. So
Someone say my name.
yeah, I was giving you credit for the mouth. So from here, um, same as last time, create a mouth. Now, once you have the mouth created, mark seam. In case you don't like the bevel option, here's another way. You can go like this, and usually I like to add this little button. I do not know what it is, but I like the style of it. And you can wrap it all the way around instead. And then mark seam, and then symmetrize. Now that's just a better way to make a mouth. Now to add the lip part, um, try to go in however much you want the lips to look. This is just how I make lips look. You do not need to follow my instructions on how lips look. And then do the same with the bottom lip. I do not know if she's gonna look crazy. I haven't made lips in a while. She's probably gonna look a little bit nuts. But don't worry, you just fixed it. My God. Okay, she'd be kind of bugging, but it's okay. I forgot how lips looked for a second. I forgot that it's bottom and then top. So that's how to make quick lips. Now, before somebody rips my head off and goes, but she kind of got the flat look from the side. Don't worry, there's a way to fix that. So, by oh, by the way, sorry. Make sure you have the seam marked on the lips. Same way that we did in our last tutorials with the mouth and all of that. Take the knife tool and connect it to a existing vertice or create your own, but I suggest connect to an existing vertice, please. And basically make it so the lips have vertices going through them, and then also across, because we always need the across ones. Don't try to tell yourself that it's not needed. You'll regret it. It's needed. You need them to go across. Trust me, I used to make them not going across, and now I am in a hole in the middle of South America, and I do not know where I am. There's a rabid dog outside my window. His name is Tommy, and he keeps barking at me. Hello. Oh, he's here. So once you have this shit looking like checkers, again, symmetrize. You do not need to symmetrize every 5 seconds. Just me personally, I always do. Now, from here, select, select. And then extrude outwards. No, it looks a little bit crazy, but bear with me. From here, do smooth. And you can also make them thicker if you wish. Just keep in mind, it may not look normal sometimes, but that's just a quick way on how to make lips. You can always move them however much you want in case you want the bottom lip to be more nuts than the first lip. You can always make them thicker, you can make them more plump, however much you want it to look. If it doesn't look how you want it, just go ahead and change it around. Move a few vertices however much you want. Again, a lot of stuff can rely on texturing, so don't always worry about how the mesh looks. Now for the mouth part. In case you're wondering why it's just still stuck into the head, I was just describing that as well, and kind of just moving it outwards and clear seam. And there you go. That's how you make a quick head. For anybody else wondering anything else, usually I make eyebrows straight from the head, so I'll grab like a random part in the forehead and click Shift D, Y, move it out, and then E, push it back using Y, then select the entire thing using L, symmetrize, smooth vertices, grab a single point at the end or the beginning, move your proportional editing render up, and move the eyebrow however much you want it to. And using the shrink tool and bevel tool, move it however much you want. Make sure you smooth it in case you don't, if you don't want that chunky look. If you don't like the choppy look, then don't worry, you don't have to. From here, move it however much you want, and that is how you make a simple head. And then again, symmetrize it. If it doesn't look how you want, just move it around. And that is how I usually make simple heads. This is just for women, but it can also be used for men as well. Not saying that men can't have eyelashes and plump lips. Yeah, that's how I make heads. There's simpler ways, such as if you move this out the way. There are simpler ways for people, such as how I first started doing it. which is to take a cube. Oh, it's been a few months since I've done it, so I may be a bit choppy. Putting it on 2. Subdivide. Shit, wait. I got this. Wait, because it's been a few months. So apply 1. Maybe apply 2. Sorry, 'cause this is just another way. So by adding subdivision already and then putting it a third time, you can select 2 boxes and basically just sink it into the head, expand it however much you want it. If it doesn't look as planned, again, just add more vertices, symmetrize it however much you want it. And so once you have it looking something like this, select these, shrink it into the head, do it again, and then do the same in case you don't want it to look kind of like the salad fingers over here. Put X on for this. Push it together, give it kind of that bridge nose look, and shape out the eye how you want. This is how I used to do models months ago, back when I was still new to Blender and I didn't know how stuff worked. You can do the same thing I did with the other side, where you select specific vertices to be used as the eyeliner, and you select the outside of it, mark seam. May take a few tries, may not always grab the entire thing. Then in that case, just select it manually. Of course, it doesn't always look perfect, but this is how I used to do models. Um, this was like during my first days of making models in Blender. So of course, I suggest this for people that are just now like trying out Blender and just trying to see how things work. I would suggest a method like this for more simple uses, especially those who just want to just try it out. Um, so again, you don't have to, but this is just a more cartoony way of how I personally used to do models. And from here, again, like I said, you can always shape things out. And with mouse, you can just select vertices that are already existing, mark seam, select vertices that obviously need to have marks on them. I would always suggest the mark seams. Now, if you don't want to, you don't have to. This is just for simplicity. Mark seams, give him kind of that like confused Tism look. The Tism creature. I remember this time in my TBH creature on VR chat, I kind of gave it that scared look in Blender, and it was like staring at me the entire time. Okay, story time over. Once you make the inside the mouth, that is how you do a more uh I don't know. It kind of looks like salad fingers. I'm not even gonna lie with you. I haven't done this method in months. Not to shame anybody who does do this method, but those are 2 quick and somewhat easy to me methods on how to do heads. Um, Keep in mind, it may not always work for everyone. This may not always go as planned for everyone, and you know, everyone does it differently. But that's just one way to do heads.
Everyone has their individual style.
Yeah, everybody has their own style, and that's it for how I normally do heads. Um, but just for reference, this one kind of has a Megamind forehead. That's it. That's my heads tutorial. Uh, Hope it works out for anyone. If it doesn't, just remember, do your own style. I do my modeling style because I learned it on my own and I found out what works best for me. So every creator may not do this and everybody may not like this method, but it's okay. You're your own person and feel free to do models how you wish. And that is how I make heads. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.